Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another video in my Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the ride series. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of the ride in place now. In fact, you may recognise the Jurassic Park car there. That was a good blueprint, so I thought I would drop it in because I always loved the car from the original films. In fact, when it first came out in the early 90s, I tried to get my parents to buy a Ford Explorer and paint it in the Jurassic Park colours. Suffice it to say that that did not happen, and I was a very disappointed young boy. But yes, here we go. So as you can see, the ride is coming along nicely. Centre needed quite a bit of work, so we needed to manipulate the terrain here to get it all flat and raised up, because this person's blueprint doesn't actually have anything kind of there. I'm guessing it's a piece to be looked at from a distance, but I wanted to actually fill this in so it could look like floor. And of course later on what we will be doing, seeing as this is Fallen Kingdom, is giving it a distressed and damaged look from being abandoned for an extended period of time. So let's get some vines and stuff on the outside, broken panels, material coming through, all that kind of stuff. All that cool stuff to make it look distressed and falling apart. Because of course Jurassic World has been abandoned since the original at the end of the original film. Quite looking forward to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. From the trailers so far, it looks quite good. Now what we're doing here is we're starting to build up the station, because I hadn't actually added the station building as of yet, so needed to get it in place. And what I'm doing is putting some smooth concrete walls, and then also putting smooth concrete floor into the actual station itself. It always looks good if you actually put a floor into the station rather than having that kind of square metal grid at the bottom of the station, and getting the floor just under the track. Seeing as this is an Atheon, so a vertical dive coaster, you don't need to worry about the cars hanging underneath, so you can just put the floor in directly under the track. So here we go. Quite a, as you can see, I mean this is time-lapse, but it's still a fairly laborious process. I've also changed the grid height to 0.25 meters for the grid height and 1 meter for the grid size, which means you do often get overlapping pieces. But there we go, so that's all in. Now we need, of course, the entrance and exit for the ride, always handy to allow your guests on and off, because without them they're not going to be able to go anywhere, are they? I always find entering from one side and exiting from the other speeds up the process. If you have the entrance and exit on the same side, you won't see that many in many real theme parks. In fact, it surprises me that they allow it. So getting on and getting off on the same side of the platform. Because I'm trying to think now, and I've been on many roller coasters, I don't think there's any where you get on and off on the same side. Not that I've been on, anyway. This was me fiddling around with the queue, trying to work out what I wanted to do with it, and also the annoyance of when you hold down the left mouse button and pull it down to create some drop, it doesn't always work. That's one of my pet peeves actually with this, is the fact that getting steps in and stuff is not always an easy process. So there we go, there's the queue in place. Look at all those people waiting to get in. They know how awesome this ride is going to be. So get some path in, connect it up, there we go. And of course the exit needs to be done as well, but that can just be stairs straight down. So there we go, we're all connected up. Let's place a priority pass, because a ride like Jurassic World The Fallen Kingdom, that's going to need a priority queue. So let's run that in parallel next to the main queue. There we go, run along, and that's that all connected up as well. And of course you'll need to place an information booth to be able to, for your peeps to be able to actually use the priority exit entrance, because that's where they get their tickets from. Now I've decided to go with a few arches, then a solid wall on this. Again, station design is always unique to the individual, I think. You can spend a bit of time on it, or not. You can just have a square building with not much detail or anything in it. See, the detail in this game is down to the individual. You can play this game without actually really doing anything like this. I personally love spending the time creating unique rides and unique theming and just some pretty cool stuff. And there are plenty of amazing players out there as well that create some absolutely fantastic blueprints. Like the Samsung Visitor Center that you saw earlier, the guy that made that, brilliant blueprint. It will be linked in the description of this video, so you can go and get it from the Steam Workshop. It's in 3 parts, which means you do have to line it up because it is so many pieces. We're now putting in some path around everything to make it look a bit better. So from the exit of the Indominus paddock, around the security tower and the Velociraptor paddock. Now let's put some fence coming off of the Indominus paddock as well. Just to look like another enclosure, which of course later on will have to be all distressed and moved, and some of the cables removed, you know, some broken sections, all that kind of stuff. Oh, that wasn't lining up, so let's try that again. Okay, and when you get blueprints that are this complicated with advanced move, you actually only are able to rotate, so you lose the 360-degree movement of the pieces. You'll notice with a lot of big blueprints that is the case when there are hundreds of pieces in it. So I raised up some land there, so it looks like we've got a bit of a paddock coming off of the Indominus Rex paddock. And yeah, so the ride's coming along nicely. It is coming along nicely. So now what we're going to do is add some screens with some images. Now here we go. Let's get the T-Rex on here. So there we go. So T-Rex. And now what we need to do is position it so that it looks like it is part of the scenery. So it is a screen with an image on it, but we want to have it looking somewhat immersive. So it's part of the ride. So T-Rex is coming around the corner of the trees there. Let's get some additional scenery in around everything, so it kind of builds up around the image. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of this round the ride to create immersion. So you know, you actually see the kind of the dinosaurs, because at the moment there are a lot of limitations around what you can do for dinosaurs within the game, using the custom shapes of course, but A, it's laborious, and B, it doesn't exactly look good. Which is one of the reasons I'm hoping that Jurassic World Evolution comes out with some download content for Planet Coaster, because I think being able to put some actual dinosaur stuff would be pretty cool. Especially seeing as they are doing Jurassic World Evolution the game. So putting some Jurassic World content into Planet Coaster, seeing as it's the same developer, makes perfect sense. In fact, it surprises me that they haven't put any Elite Dangerous stuff into Planet Coaster as well, because I'm pretty sure people that play Elite Dangerous would be fairly happy to buy some additional content. Now we've got Indominus Rex here going through the jungle, so we'll put her into the jungle and hide her at the back. Again, a big 32-meter screen, just deciding where to put her so that she looks good. That's kind of alright there, but in the end I went no, let's go with the massive 32 screen. So that was, I think, only a 16 before, 16-meter screen. So this time was like, no, let's use a 32, same image. There we go. Oh no, we're on the wrong one now. Go back to where it was. There we go. No, that's far too big. That's massive. Okay, go back to Indominus. There she is. Okay, and position so she's in the trees. There we go. Now, not bad. As you come around the corner of the first drop, as you come out the station, you can now see Indominus walking through the trees. But we need to cover up the edge of the screen, just so you can't see that it's actually just a massive image. So let's get some stuff in there. There we go. That hides it. Perfect. Come around the corner and you see Indominus. And the T-Rex there is looking pretty good as well. Is there anywhere else that we want to add some images? Yeah, let's put the Indominus coming through the trees round near the Velociraptor paddock. So there we go. Go to Indominus, and again put it so that it looks like she's coming through the trees. That's not too bad. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Let's get some additional vegetation around it. Lower the tree down. No, we've just gone through the ride. Okay, so let's add some additional vegetation and make it look like it's she's actually coming out of the jungle. Now another big screen going up. I was thinking of putting the Fallen Kingdom logo in. But I think I'm going to do something a little bit different with this, see if I can do something fairly custom. build round it, so make it a kind of a sign. I was thinking of putting a border on it, but in the end I changed my mind, and you'll see in a second I just deleted it off of the wall. But the ride itself is coming along very nicely, I think. Apart from obviously I need to do all the distressing work to actually make it look like Fallen Kingdom. But yeah, so let's get some additional vegetation added, because it is somewhat lacking near this paddock. So let's get the ride sealed off. There we go. And get more added in as well. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Know-It-All. This is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the ride. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more content.